What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from Unsleeved Media. And from time to time, I will cover an article when it's well written. Now, I'll cover this article, which happens to be on Channel Fireball, even though I don't care for them as a company, because you have to give credit where credit is due. And it would appear that Florian did a lot of research, and I would, from an overall perspective, agree with a lot of things he said. So you've got to give credit there. Now, when Magic Arena came out, I was very vocal about selling your online collection, your Magic the Gathering online collection. I was also very vocal about selling your online collection after Wizards of the Coast unfairly stole every one of my Magic the Gathering online cards after banning me from the game over, I don't know, a meme or whatever. And I've said many times that, Wizards of the Coast can barely support Magic the Gathering online. And really, the look and feel of it is really only for entrenched Magic fans. It's not streamable. In fact, I think Magic as a streaming game in general is way too slow and way too boring, regardless of how much lipstick you put on the pig that is Magic the Gathering. And make no mistake about it, I still believe strongly that Magic the Gathering is the best trading card game in history. It's just trading card games are not fun to watch on stream unless you're a hardcore fan, or unless boobs, apparently. Now, there are games like Hearthstone, which were developed, in my opinion, around streaming that were interesting and fun and had a lot of success. And I feel like Wizards of the Coast always looked at that from an envious perspective after Blizzard basically took their lunch. That isn't to say that streaming isn't possible for Magic the Gathering Online. I think Arena presents a better experience for the viewer. It's still overall pretty boring, in my opinion. Now, this article titled Magic Arena is Killing Magic Online is very well researched. Pure MTGO is sponsored or owned, I don't know, by MTGO traders, one of the largest and oldest bot chains in MTGO. They provide Jan with the number at the end of each article. The number is the price of a complete set of MTGO, meaning the price you would pay to buy every single different card on MTGO on MTGO 4 times from them. You could see the trend. You can see all of the times the community reacted to various pieces of news. This is really interesting. The announcement of reduced redemption schedule. Then when MTG Arena was announced, it completely fell. Look at that drop. More than 20% drop right there. Then Arena beta starts. It didn't really affect things. In fact, it started to climb back. And then boom, in the middle here, another massive drop. Okay, this would be interesting to look at here as well. And then MTG Arena beta starts and it falls off a cliff. We go from $30,000 for a complete set down to less than 15. So it's lost 50% of its value in the last few months. The chart runs September 16 to October 18. If you own MTGO and these numbers don't make you gasp, then examine it more closely. At a high point curve, right at the beginning of a playset for $29,000, it seemed like an outlier. MTGO playsets could cost $26 to $28 for an extended period of time in the midst of 2016. As of last Friday, Jan puts the value of an MTGO playset at just $13,000, 50%. Why? What happened? MTGO cards become cheaper, relatively straightforward. Arena and treasure chests. And I would probably agree. And I don't want to give away this entire article. I think you should read it because he did really good work on it. Historically, the introduction of play points, I think, was interesting. Until 2015, the backbone of the economy had always been event tickets. The idea that you need ticks to enter every event, and ticks can only be earned or can never be earned in any way. The only way for new ticks to come into the system is when somebody buys them from a store. Invariably, someone bought these tickets from Wizards of the Coast. This way, Wizards secured a constant stream of income. In 2015, Wizards announced the introduction of play points. Wow, it's that long ago now? Points are similar to ticks. The main difference is that they are untradeable, but you can win them in tournaments. For some reason, many players loathe the idea. Although at that point, the main way of paying out for prizes, booster packs, had turned out to be unsustainable. Originally, MTGO was mainly used for drafting. Constructed played a minor role. Players drafted all the time, or played sealed deck, and prize boosters immediately went back into the queues. A few extra constructed players didn't cause any problems, as a couple extra boosters could easily be absorbed by the system. The balance shifted over the year. Through the robust constructed scene emerging, the way the prizes were structured in constructed events, these events churned out boosters at an astonishing rate. When the new set came out, the booster draft queues could still absorb the amount of boosters generated, but when the interest in draft waned, booster supply did not, or even increased players turned from draft to constructed. Invariably, booster prices started plummeting. I remember this. When I started playing Magic Online, boosters were like three ticks, or like $3 for the most part. And then after a while, I started seeing them for 1.5 to 1.9 tickets. In fact, they start out, they're sold for 4 in the Magic Online store. But every 0.10 actually in the system is an event ticket that does not have to be bought. And event tickets, not dollars, is what Wizards doesn't earn. Players sold out right after the announcement and continued to do so until Playpoints went live. It turned out that Playpoints were not the MTGO, at the end of the MTGO world, and in fact, the new system was much more stable than the previous one. The economy rebounded and card prices went up, and we could see that from the chart. Treasure chests. I knew this was going to be a disaster. I'm glad that he did the legwork here. Predictably, the outcry ebbed quickly. People started posting pictures of lucky treasure chest openings on Twitter. Everybody was happy. What a few seemed to realize was that with this change, Wizards was not going to make the economy better by spending their own money. They were actually taking money out of players' pockets. The part of the value of treasure chests comes from the play points that are in them, but the larger portion come from the cards you open. It doesn't require a genius to figure out what that leads to. If you're the faintest idea of economy, you know that increased demand generally drives price up, increased supply drives them down. Predictably, the amount of almost all cards increase constantly with treasure chests. Now remember, the thing is, with the treasure chests, you are pulling high value cards that were highly sought after and generated within the Magic the Gathering online system. This hurts every single person that owns cards in Magic Online. Every single time a treasure chest is open, your collection loses a little value. That's a very valid point. I can't believe I didn't think about that at the time. I just didn't like them in general, but that's very true. And I don't remember a lot of people coming out and saying that. Then right after Arena was announced, you could see a drop in value about 15 to 20% in a matter of weeks. This drop is clearly visible on top of already negative trend. You can't prove a casual relationship to sudden drop in prices. But it should be logical that the announcement of a new digital Magic platform leads to anxiety. I remember, well, you got to remember too, people were putting out videos, myself included, telling people like, get out. And I think we were right. I think if you sold when I told you to sell, you saved a lot of money. Wizards promised that Magic Online would stick around. I've always said that that was bullshit anyway. And I believe at this point, Wizards believes in their promise. What I do not believe is that Wizards can keep the promise. The future of Magic Online depends heavily on the future of Arena, and as far as I can tell, Arena is already more popular than Magic Online ever was. Generally, you would expect Wizards to maintain a more popular platform and eventually scrap the other, but there is a promise to Magic Online users. But if Magic Online dies despite this promise, then we cannot expect Wizards to keep Magic Online on life support indefinitely. What does this really mean? I think if Wizards does see it, he does talk about this. If Wizards respects their longtime faithful customers, then they will find a way to create demand for the cards on the dying platform. The new demand could reward players who stick to Magic Online until the end instead of punishing them with total loss of their investment. That's true. And I think if Wizards... Now, the thing is with Arena, you can't play Legacy and Vintage and Modern and other formats. In 10 years, 5 years, you probably will be able to. Once new sets rotate and you build up older sets, Legacy, Vintage may just die. The thing is, these formats don't generate really any money for Wizards of the Coast, and there are plenty of free options to play that if you want, whether it's X-Mage or Cockatrice or any one of these other options. So, I don't think Wizards is incentivized to save these things. I think what they probably should do is when the writing's on the wall, and it already is offer some trade into the digital economy of Magic Arena. Since there is no real secondary market in Magic Arena, let's say you had a $10,000 Magic Online collection, getting something for it to play Magic Arena would probably be okay for some players, but I also get the feeling that really the only people left on Magic on Magic Online are those players that wouldn't care about ever playing Magic Arena. Let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section down below. I definitely agree with the solutions found here, or the conclusions here, and it's probably time to declare the end of an era. It's better to rip the Band-Aid off than drag these people on forever.